Hello, folks. So, I just wanted to come on here really quick and share that something that I have found most challenging in this season of my life is to admit when I have needed to reevaluate. And if I can go in just a little bit on that, it really just means that I guess me evaluating myself, and then maybe even asking myself, what is it that I need to work on? Being having a critical eye, but not in a way that is so harsh. Some people criticize in different ways. And the type of criticism that I grew up in was more of a perfectionist type of critical eye. That's not the type that I need and that is beneficial for me. The type of critical eye I mean for myself now is more similar to, for example, when you go to an interview and they say, okay, well, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And what I was taught is that your weaknesses are actually strengths, and you kind of like make it look like, well, it's something that you do that is a good thing, but it's also something that you do that, maybe it's just too much for that particular position. And so you need to pull back a little bit, if that makes sense. So for me in this time, it has been that my time, uh, or the way that I spend my time, is not always the best. And maybe some of you have experienced this and you struggle with it too sometimes. I have intentions of wanting to accomplish different things, and many times I get distracted. And so, for example, cleaning up my apartment, sometimes I've just not wanted to do it. And then also me working out and actually putting forth the work, like actually doing it, going ahead and getting started where I am, not waiting until I have something, all the things that I think I need in order to accomplish that goal. And so, for example, what I did this past weekend was I put together um, some things, and I just started where I was. I didn't wait to put together a list of you need to do this and that and the other. I went ahead and I just got started. And before I knew it, I had accomplished so much. I remembered something that a organizer told me. She told me to get rid of the things on the floor, because if you move the things off the floor first, then you first of all also have a place to start walking and moving through that room. Makes sense, right? And so that's what I did. I said, okay, let's start with the floor. Cleared most of the floor. It's still could use some more help, of course, but I did what I could. And I felt more accomplished because I went ahead and did that. The next thing I did was I went for some of the other areas. I went through some clothes. I had bought some containers, and I went through some clothes, and I went through things on my bed just to see, okay, well, what do you need to do? Change my bed sheets, put the clean ones on, used my, if you can see it, I used these, I think they're called like, I'm not sure what they're called, but there's the things that look pretty on your pillows, whatever they're called. I did that. And so, and it matches my actual um, quilt. I bought it from the same company. And so, but I hadn't used these yet. So I said, okay, let's do that. Make your bed look more inviting for you. So those are some things that I've been working on. I will also show you that stack right there. Yeah, I did that. And it was very helpful. I also got rid of some things and I gave some things away, bagged up a whole bunch of stuff, some things that were just trash and some things that just needed to go out. I still have more work to do, but this is helpful. And the whole point of this, I guess, is really just hopefully I'm encouraging someone else that you can do something about whatever it is that you want to improve upon, that you want to get better on with. And so that's pretty much all that I really wanted to say. Um, I am still also working on being in front of the camera again. And I didn't expect to get really emotional about that, but um, that's something else that I struggle with sometimes is I don't feel confident enough to be in front of the camera. I'm just very sensitive about some things in this time. And so I've had to give myself some grace and allow myself to process how in the way that I need to process so that I can walk forward in the things that I would like to accomplish. I keep reminding myself that I'm not behind in the time frame that I set for myself. I will be 45, Lord willing, in about a few days. And so I had a certain point of view about what that would look like and what I would have accomplished by now. But some of those things have not happened. However, as I mentioned in the beginning, time is, it's here. I have time right now. And while I have time right now, I am making choices to do things that have in other times intimidated me and made me feel very small. But I am stepping out of those small spaces and stepping up and standing up and holding my shoulders back and remembering to breathe and remembering to celebrate. This year is the first time that I celebrated Mother's Day for myself. That's another thing that I did because many of you do not know that I did have two miscarriages, one in 2017 and one in 2019. And I didn't feel accomplished as a woman, accomplished as the person that I hoped to be. But something I had to remember was that I have helped to raise many children, many of whom I'm so glad are doing so well and living their lives. And that's all I've ever wanted for them to do. And it doesn't matter that, if we're close or not, or we talk or not, doesn't matter. What I want most is for them to live their life and enjoy the life they have, to go and have adventures, to go and do things, and not feel held back by anything. And that's been my prayer for them, as well as to actually have a hunger and a thirst for the Lord, of course. But besides that, those are my biggest things that I've always wanted for every child I've encountered. And so even today I was praying as I was coming home and thinking about so many people that I've encountered, and children, but not just children, adults too, and just thinking about people around me and people that I've passed just in passing. You don't know what people are dealing with. You don't know what kind of life they have had or are having right now. And so I just, took some time to just put their needs and wants before the Lord, as the Holy Spirit gave me what to say, because I trust Him. I didn't really know what to say. And so, anyway, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and say that. And I pray that you're well. And if you are not feeling well and you're not doing well, guess what? You are not alone. You are loved. You are cared for. And I have a big hug for you, big squeeze. And here's my hand. Me and my sister used to do this all the time. We just do like that. And we would squeeze our eyes at each other just to kind of help us to know that someone is there, um, and present, just to be present with you. So I hope that you are encouraged, and I love you, and take care.